Wouldn't you love enchantments in real life? Being able to walk at 5 times your normal speed? Or have self-mending shoes would be pretty awesome. Unfortunately, this isn't possible, so here are the top 10 enchantments in Minecraft. At number 10 we have Power, which is a great enchantment to have on your bow. At power level 5, damage is increased by 150%, meaning that you can pick off the most common mobs in one shot. How do you like them apples, Hawkeye? Coming in at number 9 is Depth Strider. Feeling like a sluggish swimmer? This enchantment will increase the speed that you move in water. With boots enchanted with Depth Strider 3, you'll actually be able to move as fast in water as you can walk on land, making exploration of your world a breeze. Next, number 8, which is Looting. I always try to get looting on my sword as early as possible, as with each level, the max number of items dropped by a mob is increased by 1, and you get an increased chance to get more uncommon drops. So, a Looting 3 sword can bag you an extra 3 items each time. This is great to have in the early game, as you'll be able to collect up stacks of the resources you'll need later on, like gunpowder for rockets. At number 7 we have Respiration. Respiration is a helmet enchantment that extends the amount of time you can breathe underwater by 15 seconds for each level. The maximum level is 3, which means that you can have a subaquatic swim for 45 seconds with this equipped. If your helmet is enchanted with Respiration, it will mean you don't have to set up a conduit every time you want to go underwater for a shorter length of time, and can also be a great help when it comes to raiding ocean monuments and fighting those pesky guardians. In 6th position, it's Infinity. Although it's not quite as powerful as the stones of the same name, I swear by Infinity. The ability to have just 1 arrow in your inventory and never run out is a massive time saver, and especially helpful in the fight against the dragon, where you'll probably want to save some space for potions and other useful items. If you're thinking of putting Infinity on your bow, remember that it doesn't work with tipped or spectral arrows and is not compatible with Mending. So you might want to think about having a villager who'll sell you an Infinity book for when your bow eventually breaks. Number 5 is Sharpness. As an enchantment that increases sword or axe damage, getting Sharpness 5 is essential for anyone that wants to take on the bosses in the game, defeat raid parties, or just have an easier time against mobs. Getting decent enchantments on your sword is worth doing early on, as you'll find yourself using it more than your bow in the long run. Did you know that in Java Edition, each level increases damage by 0.5, but in Bedrock, each level grants an extra 1.25 damage? Coming in at number 4 is Protection, which can be applied to all of your armour. The maximum level for Protection is 4, and it decreases the damage you will take from any source by 4% for each level. So having a full set of enchanted diamond or netherite armour will make you a beast. In the 3rd spot, we've got Fortune. Now I had to think about this one long and hard, as I used both Silk Touch and Fortune picks, but Fortune won simply because if you mine diamond ore with a Silk Touch pickaxe, you're going to need to Fortune it after, or you might as well have just used an unenchanted tool. So, Fortune can be used on pickaxes, shovels, axes or hoes. Fortune 3 gives your tool a chance to mine an extra 2, 3 or 4 items, meaning you can multiply your diamonds, iron and most other ores. Now before I reveal the top 2, have you considered subscribing to the channel? You made it in this far, and I post new videos every week, so if you're enjoying this one, you'll probably like the future ones too. Anyway, at number 2, just missing out on the top spot, we have Unbreaking. Seeing the durability of your favourite tools and armour decrease can be a depressing experience, but having Unbreaking 3 on them will help them last so much longer. And when you get an elytra, I would say it's a necessity, as you can't fly for too long without it, and killing phantoms for phantom membranes ain't much fun. It's definitely worth having a villager set up to sell you unbreaking books, as you can put them on all your tools and armour, and even shears and flint and steel if you're that way inclined. Getting a villager trading hall set up as early as you can so that you have access to all the emeralds and enchantments you'll need will make your Minecraft life a ton easier, so get on it if you haven't already. So the winner, coming in at number 1 is... Mending! Let's be honest, it was always going to be Mending. Without Mending, you'll constantly be needing to craft new tools and armour, meaning that you'll spend more time mining for diamonds than is really necessary. Mending uses XP to repair any damaged tools or armour, so once you've got a decent XP farm set up, it's easy enough to repair everything within a few swings of your sword, which is why this takes the top spot. There are definitely some great enchantments that are missing from this list. Narrowing it down to 10 was a hard task, but I chose to focus on weapon, armour and mining enchantments for this video, which is why enchantments like Luck of the Sea were a no-show. Also, as I play on Bedrock, I have no experience with Sweeping Edge, so it wouldn't have felt right for me to include it. Just missing out on a place on the list were Fire Aspect, Efficiency, Aqua Affinity, Silk Touch and Flame, all of which I would still highly recommend. Let me know what your favourite enchantments are in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. RendarCrumb is AFK.